Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbour's.
For when we were controlled by the infection of fear and selfishness, which resulted from distrust, the destructive passions revealed by the law were ravaging our bodies. We were terminally ill and spreading death wherever we went. But now, as we die to the distrust, fear, and selfishness that once bound us, the law no longer diagnoses us as infected and terminal. In fact, the law now confirms that we have a new heart, not by observing rules, but created within by the Spirit. We are now healthy and loving, like Jesus. What shall we say then? Is the law evil and selfish because it increases the amount of evil and selfishness we see? Absolutely not. I would not have known what evil and selfishness looked like if it wasn't for the diagnostic efficacy of the law. I would not have realized that coveting was evil and selfish if the law didn't say, don't covet. But selfishness, taking advantage of the fact that the law is only a diagnostic instrument and not a remedy, magnified every covetous desire within me. For apart from the diagnostic ability of the law, sin is unrecognizable. Once I thought I was healthy and free from the infection of distrust, fear, and selfishness. But then the commandment examined me, exposed how utterly infected I was, and diagnosed me as terminal. I discovered that the very commandment given only to diagnose my condition, I had unwittingly attempted to use as a cure, and thus my condition only worsened. For selfishness, taking advantage of the fact that the commandment could only diagnose and not cure, deceived me into thinking that I could be cured by working to keep the commandments. But instead, my terminal state only worsened. So understand this. The law diagnoses perfectly, and the commandment is the standard of what is right and good, set apart by God to reveal what is evil and destructive. Did the law, which did good by diagnosing what was wrong with me, become the source of my terminal condition? Of course not. It only exposed what was already in me, so that I could recognize how totally decayed, putrid, and near death I was, and so that, through the lens of the commandment, I might become utterly disgusted with evil and selfishness, and long for a cure. We know that the law is consistent, reliable, and reasonable, but I am inconsistent, unreliable, and unreasonable, because the infection of distrust, fear, and selfishness has warped my mind and damaged my thinking. I am frustrated with what I do. For having been restored to trust, I want to do what is in harmony with God and His methods and principles. But I find that even though I trust God, my old habits, conditioned responses, preconceived ideas, and other remnants of the devastation caused by distrust and selfishness are not yet fully removed. What is happening is this. I have come to trust God, and I desire to do His will. But old habits and conditioned responses, which present almost reflexively in certain situations, have not yet been totally eliminated, and thus cause me to do things I do not want to do. The damage caused by years of distrustful and selfish behavior has not yet been fully healed. So I find that at times I have the desire to do what is right, but do not yet have the ability to carry out the desire. For the old habits and conditioned responses are not the good I want to do. No, they are remnants of my selfish, unconverted mind. So I find this reality at work. When I want to do good, my old selfish habits and residual feelings of fear are right there with me. In my mind, I rejoice in God's methods and principles, but I recognize that I remain damaged from years of being infected with distrust and practicing Satan's methods. So that even though the infection of distrust has been removed, the old habits of fear and self-promotion tempt me from within. What a damaged and corrupt man I am! Who will deliver and heal me from a brain and body so diseased and deformed? Praise be to God, for He has provided the healing solution through Jesus Christ our Lord.